Midori shares how music is much more than the notes or the instrument.
Do you still get nervous when you perform?
I absolutely love being on stage, and I've been performing now for over 30 years, and there is this pang of excitement every time I walk out on stage.
What do you love about music?
Music is something that I've lived with. It's something that has served me as a tool. It has something that has served me to really get to know the world, different cultures, my own culture. It has been a way to bring people together, and it has connected me to many different communities. And it's something very difficult to describe with words, but it's also something that lives inside my heart.
How do you overcome the challenges of playing music that's so well known and so challenging?
I'm stimulated and inspired by the process of learning, of going deep inside the music, trying to get behind the scenes, so to say, by getting to know the composer. We learn so much about the composer, himself or herself, through the music that he or she has left for us. And the way the score is marked, or the style, the language in which this composer writes. These are all very inspiring, very actually an invigorating process to go through for an interpreter.
She came and performed in Albuquerque when I was 6 years old, and I just remember the entire concert. I was just watching her so intently, and she was such an amazing player, and she would show her emotion on her face, how much she loved the music and how each note was played with such precision, and I just always wanted to be like her.
How did you really grow your talent?
Well, you know, I think learning music, of course, is very beneficial in many different ways, but many different things also benefit musical learning. And it's not just the technical skills, but it's the interpretive skill. It's partly how you conceive the world around you. It's what goes on inside yourself and how you interpret what that is. And it's also a skill training of seeing what it is on the score and hearing what it is in the music. It's not possible to say really in a simple sentence, you know, how does one practice? Yes, one practices an instrument, but that's not the end of the story for learning music. One has to cultivate one's mind, you know, serve the curiosity.
She related phrasing music to like a book, and she said that punctuation was like a little phrase, but like the period is the end of a definite phrase, and like anything in between is just, it's decoration.
What are your feelings about creating avenues for students through the arts, specifically with your work in Partners in Performance?
What I love to do is to explore music with young people, bringing people together, young people in particular, together through music, so that we can discuss, and from discussion we can understand each other better, and we can hope for the better world.
I like being able to play the same piece as someone else, and we all breathe together and we all play the same music, but we're making it for someone else to listen to, and all the hard work that we put into in little tiny things, maybe someone else wouldn't notice, but it does make a big difference to us, and that's a big deal.
What does it feel like when you're working with younger musicians?
I very much enjoy any opportunity I get to work with young musicians and exchanging ideas and trying to see what it is that they could actually do to really get closer to their goal. And it's always inspiring because of the energy that they put in, the dedication, the commitment. And despite the struggles that we all have in learning to play an instrument or learning to play a piece, I see that they keep working very, very hard. And that's always very, very energizing for me.
I like music because I can be challenged by it, and then so in doing work to like overcome what challenges me and then get better.
I think what it is that everyone comes to music from such different perspectives, and each piece is, you know, in each player's hands a different work. The interpretation really is very special and unique for each one. And to be working with young people with their interpretation and trying to hone in and to sharpen their interpretive skills, I think this is something very interesting.
It feels like I'm free, and I can just, there's so many different ways to do stuff. You can play it like in one way or in a completely different way, but either way it's free and nobody is like going to tell you that it's wrong.
I have been involved, I think, in educational work for, I think, as long as I can remember. It has been a long time, and for me it's not something separate from what I do as a performer. It might be the case that the outside world might, you know, just separate the teaching and the performing. But for me, it's very integrated. It is who I am as a person.
Music just brings joy to me.
Music is just, it's an escape from things. It helps you kind of breathe a little bit more, and it helps you be a better person, I think.
What fuels the creativity and love you have for the music?
I think it's partly chemistry. I just love it. And when you love something, then trying to explain it, it's only like rationalizing it or trying to rationalize it. And I don't know if that's going to do any justice, actually. My students often inspire me. I think the music itself inspires me.